The first two seasons of Solo Leveling have already shown some of the coolest parts of the story and helped set up even bigger things that are coming next. People who have read the comic version already know that the best parts are still ahead. There will be huge battles, crazy surprises, and emotional moments with the characters. As each new part of the story gets more exciting, the anime will likely become even more amazing and fun to watch. There are still a lot of great parts that haven't been shown yet, but fans of the show will probably be super excited when they finally get to see them. After Sung Jinwoo bravely saved everyone during the super dangerous and terrifying Jeju Island raid, where even the strongest hunters were scared and thought they might not survive, he quickly became super famous and well known, not just in Korea, but all around the entire world, with people everywhere talking about how amazing he was and how he changed everything by showing up at just the right time. All over the globe, from small towns to big cities, people were whispering his name, shouting it on the news, and sharing videos and stories about what he did, while even the most powerful world leaders, top-ranked hunters, and famous guildmasters started paying very close attention to him because they realized he was not just strong, he was on a whole different level. Some of those powerful people and important organizations began thinking, we really need this guy on our team. And they came to him with giant offers, full of money, benefits, and promises, hoping they could convince him to join them. Even though deep down they knew someone like Jinwoo didn't really need anything from anyone. Those offers weren't just normal job offers either. They were huge, life-changing offers that could completely change where he lived, how he worked, and what kind of future he could have if he decided to accept any of them and walk away from everything he had been doing up until now. This exciting part of the story is called the Recruitment Arc, and even though it's not super long or filled with crazy fights, it's still super important because it shows a huge turning point in Jinwoo's life and reminds us how much everything has changed since he got his powers and started growing stronger in ways no one ever imagined. Now, it's not just monsters and dungeons that are paying attention to him. The whole world is watching every move he makes. And they're not just watching from far away anymore because now they're doing everything they can to bring him to their side before someone else does. After Sung Jinwoo became so strong that he could create and control his very own army of shadow soldiers, warriors who used to be enemies but now fought by his side no matter what, he decided that he didn't want to depend on or follow behind any of the other famous and powerful hunters in Korea anymore, because he believed it was finally time for him to walk his own path and do things the way he wanted to do them, without anyone else in charge. That dream of his, the one where he could lead his own group and not have to answer to anyone else, finally came true right after he defeated the super powerful Ant King during the super intense battle on Jeju Island. A fight that was so huge and dangerous that people across the country were watching it and hoping the hunters could win. And after that battle, Jinwoo gained a new shadow soldier who used to be the Ant King. And that new soldier was so strong that even the highest ranked hunters in the country would have a hard time going up against him. After that amazing victory and the new shadow joining his team, Jinwoo officially made his own guild, which he named the Ahjin Guild, a cool name that combined parts of his name and made it sound strong. And then he made his best friend Yu Jinho the vice guildmaster, which meant the two of them were now not just friends, but partners who were building something special together from the ground up. Once they had their own guild, Jinwoo and Jinho started going into dungeon raids, not because they needed to do it for money, fame, or experience like other hunters usually did, but just because they wanted to test how strong they had become and have fun doing what they loved, especially now that they could fight together on their own terms. This part of the story is really important because it shows that Jinwoo is now becoming more than just the strongest hunter around. He's also becoming a true leader, someone who is building his own path, facing brand new types of challenges, and starting to take full responsibility for what he's creating with his powers, his guild, and the people who believe in him. After Sung Jinwoo becomes one of the strongest hunters in the entire world, a level of strength so high that even the most powerful hunters and leaders around the globe start paying close attention to everything he does, people everywhere begin to talk about him, follow his actions, and wonder what he's going to do next because his power now affects not just Korea, but the whole world. He gets invited to a super important meeting called the International Guild Conference, a huge event where the very best and most famous hunters from every country gather together to talk about big changes, new threats, and future plans. And during this special meeting, Jinwoo is picked to be the person who represents Korea, which is an incredible honor that shows just how much respect and trust people now have in him. But even though Jinwoo has grown super strong and has earned the world's attention, what he doesn't realize at first is that someone from his past An old enemy who still remembers what happened long ago has been secretly planning a way to get revenge on him, and this person is waiting for the perfect time to strike back. At the very same time, while Jinwoo is getting ready to join the conference and meet hunters from around the world, ancient and unbelievably powerful monsters, the kind that no one has seen before and that seem to come from a time long forgotten, are starting to wake up and prepare to arrive in the world, and they're not coming to make peace or help anyone. These monsters, who are full of dark power and terrifying strength, have their own scary plans to change the world in ways that could bring fear, chaos, and danger to every single human being. Because they don't care about peace, and they believe it's time for a new kind of ruler to take control of everything. This part of the story, which is one of the most exciting and important arcs so far, is packed full of crazy intense fights, super secret plans that nobody sees coming, and brand new alliances between people who never thought they'd team up because they now have to work together to survive. And by the time this arc is over and everything has been revealed, the entire world of hunters, the people who used to protect everyone and fight the dangerous beasts, won't ever be the same again. Because the balance of power is about to shift in a way that no one could have expected, and the person who controls the future might not be who anyone thought it would be. After the huge and brutal battle on Jeju Island, where many of Japan's strongest and most powerful hunters were lost during the fight, the country found itself in a very difficult and weakened position, leaving it vulnerable and struggling to recover, which made Japan much weaker than other nations around the world that still had their top hunters and forces intact, and it was clear that they were now at a serious disadvantage. Then, as if things couldn't get worse, an even more terrifying and dangerous event happened. A super powerful, incredibly dangerous S-rank gate suddenly appeared high above the city of Tokyo, sending shockwaves of fear throughout the country because this gate was like a warning sign that it could bring forth monsters so strong and terrifying that they might wipe out everything in their path, and Japan might not be able to survive such an attack. The tension and fear in the story reach a whole new level as Japan's government, military, and all the hunters begin preparing for the massive battle ahead where everything is at stake. And the outcome of this fight could be the difference between whether Japan survives the threat or falls into complete destruction, with no one knowing how or even if they will make it through the fight. But despite the overwhelming odds and the intense pressure mounting on the country's shoulders, there's still a glimmer of hope. And that hope comes in the form of one person who might have the strength, courage, and power to save everyone from the imminent danger. And that person is none other than Sung Jinwoo, the only hunter who has shown time and time again that he's strong enough to face down the toughest monsters and challenges. And now, he might just be the key to stopping the catastrophic disaster before it's too late. Sung Jinwoo woke up in a hospital bed after experiencing a dangerous, life-threatening accident in the mysterious double dungeon, where he had been pushed to the edge of his survival. And since that terrifying event, he found himself inexplicably trapped with a strange, cryptic program known as the System, which seemed at first to be helping him get stronger by offering him strange rewards and new abilities every time he pushed his physical and mental limits, almost as if it was guiding him toward greatness. But soon, as Sung began to understand more about the system, he realized that it might not be as friendly or as helpful as it had initially appeared. Being the clever and resourceful person that he was, Sung quickly figured out that the system was not just helping him, it was manipulating him, trying to use him as a tool for its own mysterious and potentially dangerous purposes, which led him to make the decision to take control of the system, turning its powers and abilities to his own advantage while he searched desperately for clues to uncover its true intentions and the dark secrets that lay behind it. As the double dungeon arc unfolded, Jinwoo found himself finally confronting the creator of the system, the person who had been pulling the strings all along, in the very same place where he had been tortured and pushed to the brink of death before his second awakening. And it was in this moment, as the truth began to unfold before his eyes, that the long-awaited mystery was finally on the verge of being revealed, promising to answer all the questions and uncertainties that had been haunting him since his strange and painful awakening. Ever since Jinwoo accidentally entered the mysterious and dangerous double dungeon, where everything seemed to change in the blink of an eye, every single event and decision in his journey has been building up to this one epic and final showdown with Antares, the mighty king of dragons and the most powerful monarch, a being so strong that his very name sends shivers down the spine of even the bravest warriors. And it's in this confrontation where Jinwoo's true powers and his hidden connection to one of the most legendary and powerful beings ever are revealed, showing that these extraordinary powers he possesses are not just random abilities, but instead they carry a deep and important purpose that will ultimately shape the fate of the entire world. That purpose, as Jinwoo begins to understand during the thrilling final battle arc, becomes undeniably clear as he fights with everything he has in an effort to save humanity from the terrifying threat posed by the dangerous and deadly monarchs, whose only goal is to destroy everything in their path, leaving destruction and chaos in their wake. And it is in this life or death battle that Jinwoo realizes just how far he has come, and how much he is willing to sacrifice to protect those he loves, and to fulfill his destiny as the chosen hero who must save the world from utter ruin. This immense and life-changing battle, which brings together everything Jinwoo has fought for, is not just the result of one simple conflict, but the culmination of a massive and ancient war that has been raging for thousands of years, a war that has claimed countless lives and changed the course of history. And as every decision Jinwoo makes brings him one step closer to his ultimate role as the hero who will decide the fate of humanity, we see how his unwavering determination and selflessness set him apart from others and make him the hero that the world so desperately needs. The final battle arc not only wraps up the long and painful war that has caused so much suffering and death, giving fans and readers a satisfying and emotional conclusion that ties together all the complex storylines, but it also highlights just how incredibly strong Jinwoo has become, not just in terms of his godlike powers, but also in his heart and mind, proving that even though he possesses unimaginable power, he has remained pure and uncorrupted, showing that strength and kindness can go hand in hand when someone truly understands their purpose. The Monarchs War arc is, without a doubt, probably the most exciting and action-packed part of the entire series, filled with incredible, jaw-dropping battles, shocking surprises, and unexpected twists that no one could have seen coming, all of which make it one of the most thrilling moments in the story, while also revealing strange and mysterious secrets about the long and ongoing war that has been secretly affecting the human world for years, ever since the first mysterious and powerful gates began appearing in countries all around the globe, sparking conflicts and drawing in powerful beings from across the world. This particular arc introduces some of the strongest and most dangerous beings alive in the world, each more powerful than anything Jinwoo and his allies have ever faced before, and it gradually builds up an immense amount of tension, setting the stage for a massive and climactic showdown that promises to change the world as we know it, while also laying the groundwork for the upcoming and final battle in a way that makes everything feel even more intense, urgent, and dangerous, leaving no room for hesitation or doubt. No other story arc in the entire series is as action-packed, thrilling, and emotional as this one, as Jinwoo not only faces physical and mental battles against powerful foes, but also struggles with personal challenges and inner conflicts, all while the entire world hangs in the balance, on the brink of destruction, as each fight grows more difficult and the stakes become higher than ever before, with huge, epic battles that will leave fans gasping for breath and shocking twists that will leave them speechless, ultimately delivering an unforgettable experience that will have a powerful and lasting impact on the story.